Today, I want to share with you guys the number one Kraken inside of Raid Shadow Legends, or at least the biggest Kraken that I've ever seen, specifically in the amount of time that he's actually played. So rewinding real quick to give you some context, there was a player during a champion chase tournament where you could win Nekmo, Kymar, and a few other champions who placed number one in the global leaderboard, but not by a little bit. He placed number one by like 600,000 points, and second place had 400,000 points. This is a huge difference. So I was thinking at the time, okay, there's some weird things going on. This is either some hacks, some credit card fraud, some things that are sketchy happening here, or something that was out of the norm. We've seen massive Krakens inside of Raid. It's nothing new, but this player came in and just like completely blew everybody else out of the water. So I was worried at the time that maybe purchased accounts are being able to push up, but it didn't even make sense at that point. Also, the name not being changed raised a little bit of red flags, but not that much. So a few weeks later, he popped up in the global leaderboards once again. Crazy, crazy stuff. And then I started getting screenshots from people in the community saying, hey, I found this player in the arena, check out his roster, and it was +4/+4/+4 champion. Tons of +4 champions. So a little time later, I actually get into contact with this player on Discord. I'm not going to share his name because he wants to keep it private, and he's not interested in coming onto the channel at this time, but he did send me over quite a bit of screenshots. And guys, these screenshots are gonna blow you away. These screenshots are like nothing I've ever seen before, and I've seen a lot of crazy Kraken whale accounts, and this one, especially for the amount of time played, nothing compares to it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, okay? The money is crazy, but that's not even the most crazy part about this. The most crazy part about this, in my opinion, is the amount of time this takes. Now, if you've ever opened, which most players probably haven't, if you've ever tried to open 10,000 ancient shards, it is a task. Like, you gotta set aside a few hours. I have the test server, and I've thought about doing that before for a video, but it's gonna be a couple hour long video because not only do you have to open the shards, you have to feed the champions, and if you've done 600,000 points, you've opened well over 10,000 shards, but if you've done that consistently, imagine this, you're opening all those champions and you're not feeding everything. At this point, you're keeping the legendaries, you're empowering your legendaries, you're putting them in your faction guardians, you're doing all this kind of stuff. So instead of having, say, 400 champion spots, you have 100 champion spots who are not +4 champions. That may sound unbelievable, but it's not that far from the truth. So basically, when you're doing that at that high of level, you're spending a ton of time opening 10 shards, feeding champions, opening 10 shards, feeding champions. It is very time consuming. But past that, this player is also number one Classic Arena, 26,000 points. Number one Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament, which literally just started a few hours ago, currently sitting at 24,000 points. Number one in Spider Tournament, I think, which not even CVC yet, and already 98,000 points. The time it takes to do this is crazy. And a lot of you may love Tag Team Arena because it's pretty quick, right? No, not at all. Tag Team Arena takes forever. However, player 129 apparently loves Tag Team Arena with 24,000 rank points. Check this out. There's a fly flying around. Man, it is interrupting this, okay? God, the fly. Sorry, guys. But player 129, 24,000 points. This is like doing the max number of refills and more every single day. Now, this screenshot is a little bit old, so now he's probably in gold 1 at this point. But either way, that is a massive amount of points, and this fly is being so extremely distracting in my ear and everything. Fly, I'm trying to do a video. Now, look at this. Okay, Sand Devils. This is where things become nuts. Pun intended. We got 4, 5, 6 nuts here because it takes the 1 regular copy plus the 4, put it into the 1, boom, that's 5, and then 1 extra, so 6 nuts. That's a lot, okay? 6 newts, quite a bit. We have 5 Kymars and a Rio and a Krizia. This is crazy, but you know what's even crazier? Boom, more nuts. We have 5, 6, 7, 8 newts. Now, this is a while ago. He's since then gotten even more newts, which I'm gonna go into the math behind this, but guys, this is madness, okay? Next up, this is his actual screenshot of his player 129 number, 14.8 million player power. Now, I've shown those screenshots before, but the screenshots I have not shown before is something you're gonna need to get ready for, all right? This is something I don't think you're prepared to see. This is something that when he sent me, I was mind blown. And I don't very often get mind blown by seeing accounts, but check this out. I'm not for sure if he shared this anywhere else yet, but days played. This is all for context, okay? This is not the crazy part, but you can see down here at the bottom, the previews. That's the crazy part. It's coming very, very soon. So days played. He currently, at the time of this screenshot, at the time of him sending me these screenshots, was 50 days played. Guys, that is no time at all. He doesn't even have Dark Elf. He doesn't even have Yaga yet. Doesn't even have Yaga. All right, let's go back here to check out some of these champions, all right? This is the first screenshot. What in the world is this? Guys, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit of math here. 5 rows of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 rows of 9. I should do the math real quick. 45, okay? Just for the calculator to keep it up over there. 45 plus 4 legendary champions. That's a lot of plus 4 legendary champions. However, there's more. Equally as many more. Okay, so we have 45 on the first page, and then we have 2 more rows, basically like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 2, so 18 plus 18, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. 69, the funny number, 69 plus 4 legendary champions. Now, he has more plus 4 legendaries than he has days played in the game. I've played for like 3 years. Look how many plus 4 champions I have. 1. And I've spent enough money on the game. So looking at this, actually, I'll give you guys context. I've spent over the course of 3 years, probably about $15,000, okay? So just for some context, 3 years, free clan boss rewards, all that kind of stuff, content creator perks, everything, 15,000. I have 1 plus 4 legendary champion. That gives you a little bit of an idea. Obviously, some people have better luck than others, but that's what I have. So 69 plus 4 legendary champions. And then look at the plus 3s. We have plus 3s like crazy. Brogni, all these, boom. Next page, all plus 1. Now we have Taras. He's a pretty new legendary champion. Sulfurion. I don't see many players even having him. Acrizia, Yumiko. He doesn't have many plus 4 void legendaries, and there's a reason for that. The reason why he doesn't have many plus 4 void legendaries is because you can't purchase unlimited number of void shards. Ancient shards you can, void shards you can't. So the voids are going to take a lot longer to actually get plus 4, but I imagine at this point he probably has some plus 4 void legendaries. But there we go. There's 1 newt. We're going to count the newts, and I'm going to do some math about how much it would cost to actually get that. Because keep in mind, Newt is a very new champion. But here's all of his epic champions, tons of those. Some rares, we're not even looking at the rares. Like, I'm surprised he even kept them, but these are good rare champions. And then look, some void legendaries who just got pushed to the back burner, basically. And that's not all. There's more. There's more plus 4s. What? These are plus 4. I actually forgot about these. These are plus 4 legendaries who are just Vault Guardians, okay? Plus 4 Vault Guardians. So we're at 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 86, maybe missed 1 or 2. It's like 86 plus 4 legendaries. Oh my gosh, that is nuts. 86-ish. Oh wow, even more. Plus 3s. These are almost plus 4 champions. He can probably make them plus 4. He's probably just ran out of time to even do this. Like, what is this? Okay, and then a bunch of plus 1s, and then just regular champions. Double Michinaki, who I think he already has a few plus 4s of. But this was a few weeks ago, so he's definitely got to more since then. And Loriaka, he already has a plus 4 back there. I saw her. And then just some epic champions like crazy. So that is insanity. I want to do some math in just a minute as far as how much it would take to get those newts, which I think is mind-blowing. Doesn't even start to consider how much money he's actually spent. But since Newt's a pretty new champion, I do want to run the numbers on that. Now up next are some of his dungeon times. Dragon's Lair Stage 10. He's since beat this. I know he has. I saw it in some of the RSL leaderboard discords, but this is what he sent me at the time. Dragon's Lair Stage 10, 21 seconds. Quad Teodor plus a Cavalax, just typical day in the life of a raid player. Ice Golem's Peak Stage 10, 43 seconds, just Quad Teodor plus a plus 4 RTAC. I would love to have a plus 4 RTAC. And I'm not even talking about the blessings yet. And then we have Spider's Den Stage 10, just a casual 8 seconds. Teodor double Sulfurion, who I rarely see, and then Acrizia. And yeah, there you go, guys. Just a basic little, Spider Stage 10 and 8 seconds. Now, his blessings, check this out. Look at all those blessings. That is some high blessings on not just any champion, but S tier champions. Okay, these are amazing champions with amazing blessings. Now, I want to show you his Taras. Now, take a few years back or a few months back, whatever it is, however long you've been playing, and imagine how your first champions looked. Well, this is his Taras. All the awakenings, all the ascensions, savage gear, which is probably not purely farmed, but definitely some of it was. Some of it was purchased, of course. But 76,000, 687 plus 2, 305. So he has 98,000 HP. We'll call it 99,000 HP. And he has, let's see, a total of 271 plus 63, 334 crit damage. This Taras of a day 50 player has almost 100,000 HP, 334 crit damage, and he is no slouch when it comes to speed. He has 219 speed. Guys, this Taras is probably better than what I could build. I'm not for sure. I don't have a Taras, but I got a feeling possibly. I don't even know. 334 crit damage, 219 speed, almost 100,000 HP. Wow. What in the world? So throughout this time, I've been trying to figure out about how much money was spent, just because I have a morbid curiosity, you could call it, of knowing, hey, this dude has a lot of newts. How much was possibly spent to get this? Now, he probably has more since then, especially with the prism crystals currently giving you newt in the summon pool. So he probably has a few more at this point. But either way, let's take a look at this, okay? So this was some math breakdown that was sent to me, and this is just for a desired +4 legendary champion. If you pulled your ancient shards and you wanted one specific +4 legendary champion, okay? I want a +4 newt. How many shards, how much money am I gonna have to spend to get the +4 legendary champion? Now, this is at the price of $1 per ancient shard. Ancient shards are usually not priced at $1 per ancient, unless you're buying just a $1 ancient from the shop, but you can literally only get one of those. Typically, ancient shards are more like $1.50, somewhere around there. So if you were to pay $1.50, obviously it's gonna make this a lot higher number. So $1.50 times, say, 69,752 is gonna put it at $104,000. But we'll get into that in just a little bit longer, okay? So during these events, we're gonna say there was a 2x event going on, but there was no 10x. So particular Lego no event would be 102,000 ancient shards, but if you want a specific legendary with a 2x event, it'd be 69,000, okay? So just to give him the benefit of the doubt, he pulled these during a 2x ancient shard event, but it had no 10x alongside it. So we had 69,000 ancient shards needing to be pulled. The sacred shards really can't be purchased unlimited. So we're not even gonna add this into the equation, but 69,000 for the +4. Now, let's look at how many newts this guy actually has. So let's go ahead and find, where is the newt? I know he has at least a +4. I think he actually has 2 or more at this point. So there's 1. So that's 5 newts, okay? So +4 number 1. And then I think he has some more back here. Let's see, newt 1, 2, there's gotta be more, right? 3, 4. Okay, so 4 more newts. Almost. We're just gonna say 2 +4 newts, all right? Just because simplicity, I can almost guarantee he has another +4 newt at this point in time. Or another newt may not have empowered him, because there's really no reason to do that. 1, 2, 3, not just yet. I definitely value extra newts more than 2 +4 newts. But man, let's say for the simplicity of the math, there are 2 +4 newts on this account, which is no stretch of the imagination whatsoever. So that is 69,752 times 2. This is the number of ancient shards, according to the math that was done September 13th, 23 by people smarter than me. I'm not for sure who exactly did it, but 139,000 ancient shards. Guys, have you ever pulled 100,000 ancient shards? I've not. I wouldn't want to. To be honest, I've tried to do a 10,000 before on the test server, but I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm not pulling that many shards. Honestly, divide this by, say, 300, just because that's how much space you have in your inventory, about. So 139,504 divided by 300. Say you pull 300 and you go feed. You'd have to go back to your inbox to feed champions at minimum 465 times. Now, you're probably doing that even more. So you're opening shards, boom, back to the champion storage. Honestly, it would take me a whole weekend to actually do this. But let's see, 139,000 times 504. Let's take this number and times it by 1.5. Just as an example, we'll go here to the shop real quick. You can see that the gem shop, you can get 11 ancient shards for 900 gems. You can buy can't actually buy 900 gems. But let's say this, it's going to be about $1.50, a little bit less. We'll say $1.30. Okay, just for simplicity. When the offers pop up here, the ancient shards are usually about around that range. So never $1, because $1 is like a really good deal. He's definitely not buying really good deals. He's probably just purchasing gems, converting them to ancient shards. Really all it is. So we'll just do 1.5. Okay, 209,256. This is how much money was spent to get the +4 newts. Now, obviously, when you're doing this, you're opening that many shards, you're probably gonna get +4s of other champions as well. So $209,000 is definitely not the minimum of what was spent. This is what was spent, and it's definitely gonna be more, I imagine, because there's many more +4 champions, especially very new +4 champions. Artak, very new champion, but there's a lot of +4s, guys. There's a ton of +4 champions. So $209,000 spent just on ancient shards. Now, we know this player doesn't just spend money on ancient shards. So we have energy. He's obviously buying tons of gear packs as well, because Taras is decked out with some very good gear. So just hypothetically, as far as the money that was spent on shards, I would say is about $210,000 on ancient shards alone. And then as far as the gear, the gear packs, the energy, the voids and sacreds, I don't even want to begin to guess how much money would be in those places. Honestly, if it was let's say 300,000, okay? Just for an example with easy math, as far as 50 days. So 50 days, $6,000 per day being spent inside of Raid to get to this point. This was about day 50. This could be off the math. This could be right on target. But to be honest, this, like I said, this is crazy. But honestly, as far as this compared to how active this player is, that's honestly more crazy, because I've pushed somewhat in 3v3 before. Granted, he's not losing very much, and he's probably getting hit quite a bit, so it's boosting him up some. But I've never came anywhere close to having 24,000 points in 3v3, and I've honestly never seen anybody else have that either. So not only is this player obviously putting tons of money into the game, and I believe he's the #1 Kraken inside of Raid, especially for the amount of time that he's played the game. A lot of players have spent this much money, but I don't think many players at all have spent this much money that quick. So very impressive. But I do gotta give him credit, because while he has spent a lot, his account, he's actually doing pretty well as far as like his team builds. I know you can just, once you spend that much money, people think, hey, you can just throw these champions in there, but that's not necessarily it. Whenever you're pushing, especially global leaderboard records, like these are top leaderboard scores, these are like top record times, it does take thought process. Like you do have to actually do some work on the speed tunes, build the champion specifically. So there is a lot of work behind the scenes, and it's not just, hey, throw in all these champions, get the run #1 time. Of course, the champions do help. There's no doubt about that. But these times are incredible. Very, very good time. Definitely takes some good, solid work, and you do have to know what you're doing. And he does. He's definitely doing very well. I'm very impressed, especially about how short of time he's played, about how much he's picked up on the game. Like 50 days, imagine, like if you got that much stuff, honestly, at day 50, I wouldn't even know what to be purchasing. So it would definitely be a learning curve there. He has picked up on it fast, so I do got to give him credit for that. But as far as the amount of time he's played, I did ask him how much time he's played, and he told me like 4 to 6 hours per day. So he's extremely efficient or something, because I'm like, dang, I play more than that per day, and I don't get nearly that much done. I'm wondering how I even have time to finish my daily and advanced quests, do my Hydra, do my clan boss, which is a lot quicker now, do all that stuff, jump into some live arena. I'm trying to figure out how to do all this kind of stuff, let alone, which is awful right now. I did some live arena earlier today. Terrible, terrible luck. But I'm like, how do I do all this and still find time to do everything else? I don't even know. But I wonder if he's on this leaderboard. I would assume down here way towards the bottom, just because of how crazy champions players have. But there's no way he can be up here, right? Like, there's no way. I've had some players screenshot me facing him in the arena. Like, I've had a lot of people interested in this. So this is why I want to provide this video to you guys, because I know it's something that I've been talking about for a while now, and it's something I've been kind of leading on, but I just haven't jumped into it yet. So I did want to provide you guys this video. But yeah, I mean, it's impressive. Like, I like seeing it. I'm definitely intrigued by how much is going on, how much is possibly spent. The +4 champions are really just mind-blowing. I've seen a lot of +4 champions in accounts. but I don't think anything comes close to this. Like, these aren't even ascended. Like, I have very few legendaries who aren't even ascended. And he has more +4 legendaries than I do legendary champions almost. And they're not even ascended. He's like, okay, Pixie, yeah, +4 her. We'll throw her in the vault. Don't even ascend her. Not even going to waste my potions on her. Crazy. I wonder what champion he has the most +4s of. Now, with Newt, I guess there was one fusion who he probably did go for. So I guess rounding it up may be a little off the mark since one of them was a fusion champion. But either way, I don't think it's that far of a stretch to say, hey, that much money was spent on getting the 2 +4 Newts, which is mind-blowing. Got +4 Trunda here, +4 Artak, Pythion, Kangaskhan, Necmo, incredible champion. But yeah, guys, there you go. That is the I guess finale of the saga of what I once thought originally was a suspicious activity going on. I thought there were some purchased accounts like crazy. Yes, Saoirse, what a surprise! The champion who cost money to get. Of course, basically, you got to spend money to get player and play points. But originally, I thought this was something suspicious going on. I thought it was maybe some purchased accounts with shards loaded onto them. I thought something messed up was happening, and I'm not saying that's not happening in the community. I definitely think that is happening. I think there are some accounts that are being sold that shouldn't be happening, but you see it in the general chat all the time. If I go in here, people claim Wukong, all that kind of stuff, claiming the free legendary champions, and then they just get rid of the account. And those accounts, if they're loaded with shards, those accounts are going to have potential to win champion training tournaments in their bracket, depending on what they're doing. So it is something I was kind of concerned about. I don't think that's what's happening here. This one is not an account that's just preloaded with shards, because that would be a lot of shards preloaded. But either way, this is nuts. No pun intended. This is just nuts. This breakdown is interesting. But guys, if you're ever interested in pulling a +4 champion next weekend, just keep in mind you're going to have to spend this much money, okay? You're going to spend at least $69,000 to go ahead and pick yourself up a +4 legendary champion. If there's no 10x for that champion, which we've had no 10x for Newts when this thing was actually sent to me, when all these screenshots were made. So since then, I can almost guarantee he's got to more Newts. But other than that, guys, best of luck if you go for anything during this summon pool event. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Some crazy champions in this pool. But yeah, maybe don't spend $69,000. But if you got it, hey, best of luck to you if you do pull. And hopefully you get 8 Newts. Guys, thank you all very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that little adventure down the biggest Kraken inside of Raid rabbit hole. And I'll catch you all in the next one.